All right, I finally have some time to do a little update on my non-drinking world. I know the last video was super all about spiritual stuff, which, yeah, it's becoming a big part of my life, but I didn't really talk about the non-drinking stuff. So, obviously, well, if you follow my TikTok or previous videos, I had to go through my father passing away, dealing with the estate and everything that's entangled in that world. And before that, I was 24 days without drinking, which was the longest stretch I had gone. But then, you know, it's just what happened. So anyhow, it took me a little bit of time, probably like 35 days or 38 days of still in the funk of drinking, dealing with all that before I started back. But I knew I was coming back because I had so much clarity and so much good that came from the last time that I stopped drinking. I knew I was going to get back to it. It just had to work through it, and that's fine. I took the time to go through it at my pace and how I wanted to do it, and it worked out. So now I am 19 days off the sauce this time. For me, it's always been IPAs, drinking the IPA beers, 6 to 7 or 8 of them a night. But now that I'm aligned with my purpose and I know what my purpose is and I'm on a path and I feel the passion for that purpose, it's like it's just made everything better. So the desire for a beer is just gone. Now, I know the last time that I quit drinking and I wasn't totally in tune with where I was going in my life, it was still the same for me then too. But I think that the initial push through became a lot easier, and knowing that I can count on myself became a lot easier with having a passion behind a purpose and believing it and believing in like that's what I'm here to do. So I've only been to one AA meeting before in my time. I don't think it was the best fit for me, that group. Nothing against AA meetings. I think that their core pillars are huge. A lot of good stuff there. Maybe it could use a little bit of tweaking. It's been from a long time ago, but there's a lot of good principles there. One of those principles is the spiritual aspect of it, whether it's God or Jesus or the universe or some kind of a spiritual connection, working on that to help heal and grow past the desires for the beer and everything like that. Because it's all rooted in our mind and in our childhood and everything in life up to this point, etc. Things building on top of each other. I mean, we have to go in and unravel all of that. And when you just put it on yourself to, hey, I'm going to stop drinking, but you're not working on unraveling all the shit that's deep inside, it's like tougher to, be efficient with it. It's tougher to not have, flashbacks or fallbacks. And if you've been following me, I'm one of those people that like I try and then I have my little fallbacks, my setbacks. I mean, I'm only human. But the working with the spiritual, starting my days every morning with gratitude and trying to say thank you for all of the blessings that I have had, and regardless of whatever, it's not like I have a bunch of, riches and money in the bank account at this current moment. But there's a lot for me to be happy about and be thankful for. And so I start off every day with that in nature and try to work on my relationship with God. I think I've said this before, but not coming from a place of lack, but coming from a place of, thank you just for everything, whatever it is. And that's slowly just helped me deal with everyday things in life. Whereas before, if I would stump my toe or you drop something on the way back from the car or whatever, like I would be the guy that's like, motherfucker, like just like losing my shit. But the more that I practice thankfulness, the more I practice gratitude, and I find ways to be thankful for certain things. For instance, today I dropped a wheelbarrow on my big toe, and it hurt like a motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie, like it hurt like a bitch, and now my toe is all purple and everything. But when it happened, like sure as shit, I had a moment where I was like motherfucker, like bitch. But like I didn't. That was more just like me getting out the pain. It wasn't like I was cursing the moment or anything. Like I put it on myself, etc. But soon as like the shit started like healing up a little bit, I started thinking to myself, like, it hit the big toe. It didn't hit anywhere else along the toes, which could have been a lot worse. Decent sized wheelbarrow falling like 4 feet straight to the toe, 3 to 4 feet. or if it hit the center of my foot, for instance, like that could have been really, really bad. So I began in my mind being like, thank you for it being the big toe, and thank you for the lesson to be more careful. And thank you for the healing that's going to come in this toe, etc. And like, I'm just doing more thankful. So anyhow, the more I do that, these little things that pop up that would normally like really frustrate me or irk me doesn't really bother me anymore. Like I just kind of work through it. It's all good. Now there is also the weed thing, because I've been smoking the weed, but I feel like I had a reason to do it, dealing with everything. And for me, it was an easy segue to come off the beer too, to let that go, but say, hey, you know what, you still have the beer, and then it was like, you know what, you still have the ice cream, and you still have the beer, but you still have the ice cream. Like I'm giving myself these outs of other vices to get me past a point. And then now I got to the point where I was like, okay, alcohol's good, I don't want any more beer. Now it's like, all right, let's get rid of this fucking ice cream, So, and I was allowing weed to be like one of the last standing vices that I plan on tackling. And then when I tackle that vice, it's gonna open up. But I'm losing weight because I got a new job. I'm in a different line of work now. I'm helping a buddy of mine start a hauling business, and it's a lot of work. I'm doing like the sales and the marketing for it, but the labor part is also still very much something I'm doing, because there's only a few of us running or doing everything at this point. So I got to have my sales and marketing hat on, then I got to have my fucking hauling hat on. So I'm pretty beat, and I think it might even come through in this video that I'm just not my normal enthusiastic self. But nonetheless, I had a free little bit of time here where I was like, you know what, it's time to do an updated video or whatever. Also, more woo-woo stuff. When I'm doing the spiritual work, or when anybody does spiritual work and you're really going through the process of working on your inner shit and like growing it, that shit is tiring in itself. Like there's an exhaustive nature to it, but it's all good. Like it's the same thing as going to the gym and working out. Like you get sore or whatever, but it's all for the good, as long as you don't overdo it, blah, 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 whatever. So I'm doing everything at its own pace, but there's a lot going on. So I'm way busier than I normally am. And so I'm tired from that. And then also doing the spiritual work. So I'm not certain if I said this before at some point, but I'm going for 45 days this time. I think it's very easy for me to do that. May 5th will be the 45th day, Cinco de Mayo. So I will probably go have some cervezas on this day. But my goal is to be done with the weed and the cigarettes by then. Yes, I do still smoke cigarettes. I smoke the healthy kind though, the Indian cigarettes. So it's not as bad as the other stuff. Just saying. That being said, still got to get rid of them. It'll be far easier for me to do that when I'm not smoking weed. If I'm not smoking weed and I'm not drinking, initially I'll probably have like 3 or 4 cigarettes a day at that point, which is nothing, and I can quit that very easily. But I gotta go through my process. But we're doing it. We're doing it now. It's fucking happening, and I'm very, very thankful for all the growth that I've had over the past few months. I never would have thought that finding out that my father passed away would actually be a pivoting point in my life to catapult me in the direction that I'm supposed to be headed. So I'm super, super thankful for that. So anyhow, I'm sure there's way more that I could say right now, but I had really good intentions. Like, I'm gonna get all my stuff together and we're gonna do a video real quick. But then I started talking, because I don't really ever like write much of shit down to do these. I just kind of turn it on, just start talking. Perhaps that's why I'm not some viral sensation, but I'm not doing any dances and stuff on TikTok or anything. But anyhow, I appreciate you guys, as always, all the comments, all the love, the engagement, and for being a subscriber. And if you're new here, please entertain it. No telling where this journey is going to go, but it's pretty fucking exciting. Things on my vision board are starting to be checked off, and there's more to be checked off in the near future. But thank you again for watching. One love to all the people in the world. Hope you're having a good day, and try to practice gratitude and thankfulness. Find the good. The more we focus on the good, the more good comes. And it can get tiring when you start going down the road but I wouldn't have it any other way, and I'm super excited for the future. So that being said, blah, blah, blah. Y'all have a good day, and I'll see y'all soon.
Trust you white in me again. Trust you white. You'll be sorry that your tears will be too light. Trust you white in me again. Trust you white.